Hey guys, welcome in. It's Saturday night and we are in the building, in the house, in the place for 30 books in 30 weeks. And I'm excited about this week's book. I've had a great time rereading this book. The book for this week is called When God Winks. And it's a book that talks about how coincidence manifests itself in our lives in the form of and as a way of God being able to communicate with us to keep us on track or send us off on the right path. So if you're just joining in, welcome in. Make sure that you share this out, invite some people to join us. And if you're somebody who's just maybe joining for the first time, you aren't really familiar with what 30 books in 30 weeks is or what I'm doing, who I am, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Marcy Batiste. I am a public speaker, an author, and a success and recovery trainer. I pride myself on three things. One is that I live life on Mars every day. I'm sold out to my happiness, and I am 100% committed to helping women shine and helping them to discover and embrace their star power. Those are the things that are of the utmost importance to me. I also have a training company called Bankable Success Advisors, where I work with businesses and individuals to help them optimize their personal and professional investments in things such as time, energy, sometimes money, and then as well as human capital. And so I do trainings on domestic and workplace violence for businesses, and then on the personal side, I help people actually cure their emotional bankruptcy. And so this personal development journey that I'm on, 30 books in 30 weeks, is an opportunity for me to go deep diving into my personal development library, pull out some of the gems and the treasures that have meant so much to me over the last 10 or 12 years, and share takeaways from that. And so one of the books that I rediscovered in digging through my library was this little book here called When God Winks by Squire Russell. And When God Winks really talks about our ability to truly be true to our intuition. Our intuition is our first line of defense. It's like a secret decoder that we have built into us that allows us to decode God winks. And so the book talks about and refers to God winks as a sign of coincidence. So you may look around and see things going on. Hey, Mary. Hey, Delana. You may see things happening in your life. You're like, oh, that's a huge coincidence. But the author of this book would tell you that that is truly a God wink and is God's way of being able to communicate with you. And, you know, I just happen to believe that we are all formed from a higher power. And so I don't care what you call your higher power, whether you call it the universe, whether you call it God, whether you call it Winnie the Pooh. It doesn't matter to me, but understand that there is something bigger than us as individual human beings that is manifesting and creating things in our lives, and our free will then gives us the opportunity to either take advantage of those things, or we tend to lose out on some things because we're not willing to step out with faith. Sometimes we're not willing to exercise our intuition and go with what our gut tells us, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes we have to walk away from things because that's what our intuition tells us, and sometimes we need to run towards things because that's what our intuition tells us. And on either side of the scale, you have the opportunity to decide for yourself, what am I going to do? Am I going to run? Am I going to embrace whatever this new development, this new opportunity, this change is going to look like? And so yesterday we were talking, I was sharing on the video about left brain and right brain. And so your left brain is your analytical side. That's the side that does all the numbers, the number crunching, and wants to find reasoning for everything. And then your right brain is what controls your creative side. So that's the spiritual side. That's the spiritual side. That's your artsy side. That's maybe the side that loves music, loves nature, that sort of thing. And so last night I did a video and I was talking about being willing to color outside the lines, and basically to not pigeonhole ourselves into such a place where we're so structured that we can't see the opportunities that are found oftentimes in these little coincidences. And earlier in the week, I shared a story about how Oprah actually landed the movie The Color Purple. And, you know, she wasn't Oprah at the time. She was, you know, she was just a local TV talk show host who was trying to make it. She wasn't a household name. She wasn't one of the most powerful women in the world at the time. She became that because she was willing to step out on faith. She was willing to embrace the God wink when the opportunity came to, you know, to try out for this movie that was made out of a book, because she loved the book so much and she identified with the character of Sophia so much. Greg Walker, how's it going? Welcome in. I hope you're feeling better, my friend. So, you know, truly those God winks gives you the opportunity to sometimes and be able to embrace opportunities that you oftentimes would overlook. And so I was thinking about how you expand your being able to utilize your right brain and things that you can do to do that. And, you know, some of the things that the author was talking about and that I was thinking about was to, you know, figure out where are you the most creative. I know for me, there's a couple of places that I can go. For one, Sedona, Arizona, to me is like just it's truly a godsend to me. Like, I find so much peace and comfort in Sedona. So a lot of times when I want to increase my creativity, I will take a road trip and go spend the weekend in Sedona. I love the beach. The beach is just very relaxing to me. The sound of the water. I love the sound of water, period. I have a fish tank. I love the sound of flowing water. So I keep things around me that keep me feeling creative, that keep me feeling inspired, and that keep me in a calm mental state. Some other things that I like to do, you know, sometimes just, you know, putting on some music or going for a long drive. I do a lot of really great thinking when I'm driving. The problem is you can't write it down. So I have learned to voice record when I have thoughts when I'm in the car, because you don't want to lose those ideas because they come at an inopportune time. And so you have to create, you know, things in your life that allows you to capture the ideas. And sometimes you just sit on the ideas. I was sharing that last night. You just sit on the ideas. You don't actually do anything with it in the moment. And then an opportunity, a God wink will come along, and you're just like, oh my gosh, that's such a coincidence. I was just thinking about that. And it's not a coincidence at all. It's preparation. That's what it is. It's preparation. Another thing is getting comfortable being alone. It's really hard to get deep in thought and be creative and all that when you're constantly surrounded by people. So if there's a way that you can escape, maybe go to a park, find a shady tree. In Arizona, it's 125 in the shade in the summertime. So maybe someplace indoors that keeps you and allows you to isolate yourself from some of the chaos and the noise of the world around you. I know a lot of times, even just going to Starbucks and put my headphones on, and I can pound out a whole bunch of stuff just with mood music on, maybe some meditation music, a little gospel sometimes. It just depends on what mood I'm in, and I can get so much stuff done just by kind of shutting out the world. I always say headphones on, world off. And that's the same thing like if I'm at the gym or whatever. I do great thinking when I'm working out too. And clear the clutter. They say that, what is that saying about a messy desk is a sign of a genius mind or something like that? Well, and it's crazy because my desk is always a mess, and I was sharing this with my clients the other day on our group coaching call about how every single week I have to like go through and clean off my desk again, because what happens is by the end of the week I just have all this stuff piled. And it's ironic though that I actually know what's in these various piles, but they just look a right hot mess. And it just, in order for me to feel creative and be artsy, and even when I'm writing, I very seldom write at my desk. I write like on the couch or someplace else, because I don't feel as creative at my desk as I do when I'm in a relaxed state with, you know, some music and whatever in the background. And the other thing is just go out and explore life. Like, I remember when I really started getting serious about transformation and healing and changing my mindset. And one of the things I realized was that I didn't know what I liked. I had no clue what made Marcy happy. I knew what made the people around me happy. I knew the things that were important to them, but I could not identify for myself what was important to me, what made me happy, what made me feel fulfilled, what made me complete. And it actually took several months, years ago, to figure out what that was. And what I discovered was it's a lot less than I thought. That I had filled my life up with all of these things, and my home up with all of these things, and surrounded myself by all of these amenities and material things that weren't for me. That's not who I am. And so I'm actually very, very simple. And so a lot of the things were to please other people because I do enjoy entertaining and things like that. And so it was to make the environment conducive to other people. But what I realized was that I'm the one that has to live in it every single day. And so now I'm very protective that my environment be conducive to my happiness. That's what, remember at the very beginning of the video, if you were on at the beginning, I said 3 things. 1, I live life on Mars. 2, I'm sold out to my happiness. And 3, I love helping women shine. And that sold out to happiness piece was one of the best things I ever did for I forgot to turn my sound off on my phone again. But that was one of the best things I ever did for building my creativity, was to really just get clear about the things that make me happy, do more of those things, less of things that I don't like. I got real clear on the word no. I'm real good at saying no. Nope. Do you want to do this? Nope. Do you want to? Nope. 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 Real good at no, because it allows me then to say yes to the things that I really enjoy doing and the things that I'm really truly committed to and passionate about. So that's my message for tonight from this little book right here called When God Winks. We have one more night left wrapping this book up. We're going to put this baby to bed tomorrow. And then on Monday, we will go into another book for personal development. For next week, I'm going into week 7. So as always, guys, I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for joining the community of rising stars. And as always, in the meantime and in between time, thanks for living life on Mars, guys. We'll talk soon.